I know, mate. I know. Anyway, a quick question here for James. He's saying, how do we fix this? Doesn't matter who a manager is. He'll likely need around 2 or 3 years to fix this, and he won't get that much time. Any solutions, Stuart?
I don't know. I think James kind of nails on the head. I think we do need this period of stability with the same guy at the helm. I think we do need somebody to totally implement a style, a way of play, which obviously we've not seen a lot of as yet. But similar to what we've done with Gerrard. And Gerrard came in at a time where it was easier to make leaps and bounds forward.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see the marked and instant improvements that he made. You can draw parallels at what Clement's trying to do. And I think you do need to give somebody time, investment of time as well as money, for us to become stable as a club overall. I don't know if we've picked the right guy for it, but I think we've kind of made our bed at this point. I think it's easy for the cries for him to get rid to come, but I think we maybe need to see what's going to happen in the short term before we decide on the long term. Do you think it should be come on out? Do you think it should be gone?
100%. I'm done.
Do we not get to that thing where if we repeat the same thing? You know, hire a manager, give him a year and a half, sack him, get a new guy in, and the process gets repeated. I mean, not just somebody kept quoting if you do the same thing.
Us managers lasted an extra 3 months, so we've broken the cycle. He should have been sacked in fucking October, going by Rangers fucking records. For me, like dropping, getting beat off Kilmarnock, Aberdeen, dropping points to Dundee United, beat off St Mirren now. That's three big losses and a draw off the top of my head already. There's more than that. Humbled off Celtic at their stadium as well, 3-0. I know he's done a hard job in terms of his rebuild and kind of the job he's had today. There's certainly mitigating circumstances in some of that, but you know, just things like yesterday don't help, mate. He needs to be able to control that. Like, there was even when the cup final lost, there wasn't an acceptance about it, right? But there was.
I could have this time.
There wasn't an acceptance, but there was mere, you know what, we get beaten penalties. There's not really much you can do about that.
No.
We've run them ragged. We won the first half. They probably won the second half. Very even game. Extra time. Both teams cancel each other out. Should have had a penalty. We didn't get one. Blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. I just think if he doesn't win in the second, I think it's curtains, because I understood the whole thing about not getting rid of him because it was a rebuild and he needed time. But if he gets beaten the second, no Rangers manager survives seven defeats against Celtic. See if he's still Rangers manager if we get beaten the second. I dread to think who's going to happen. I really do dread to think who's going to happen. Just my opinion.
So you think if we beat them in the second, that changes the season, changes Clement's CV, changes Clement's perception with the fans overall?
No, I don't know as much as it changes that. I just think it buys him time. It doesn't change nothing, because it would have changed something had we won yesterday. But his team have went and buggered that up from that shoddy first half display. So it's about really we need to lay down a marker and win 2 or 3-0 in January. And I don't think we've got that in us, to be brutally honest with you. Because say what you want, Celtic are a quality side. But even if we do win, still doesn't put you within 6 points. It puts you within 9 points. And he's then went for the guy that's never beaten Celtic in 7 matches to the Rangers manager who's won 1-7 against Celtic. There's never going to be a positive spin on it for him because he never won yesterday, and that's the most kind of damaging bit for me, is that he's not doing it against the wee teams, and you can get back to, you know, he make up his squad, not enough Scottish players or British-based players in or whatever. Some of his signings have been good. I've liked Jeff Day. I've like Barron in flashes. There's certain aspects of his squad I love Iggerman. Absolutely love Iggerman. I think Germany's finally we've got a right winger can put a Bonnie back in it for you.
But I'd say that has changed now. He's obviously recovered for that long injury. Still walks by a limp for some reason.
Make runs, running channels, stone in the box, etc., etc. And Dessers
So is Dessers a hit for you then?
Probably right in terms of narrative, but Dessers doesn't play 1-2 to create a chance in the first place. Because of a Celtic game, then this really is how big it is for me. If he loses that job in January because of a Celtic game, then your manager might come in and say, I don't like a left-footed right winger. Do you know what I mean? They might not want him. You don't know. I do probably agree with Scott B. Oh, he's a hit, aye, but not 6 million. I'd go and get Seema back for that money. There's a lot better you can spend 6 million on. It's the ball, and Hadji just sticks his arse into one of them. Come on, man. Behave yourself, Rangers. Sign them for the next 4 or 5 years? Probably not. But he's here now and we're stuck with it, so we just need to kind of see. What about you on Lawrence? Where you at? Did you want rid in January or?
I think so. Nah, it's not worked out. He's not been able to stay injury free for prolonged spells.
Good in Europe, all this kind of stuff. But he's trying to influence the game and stuff now.
Today, been ready to go, and he ran the show for 4 or 5 games there, and obviously his reward for that was getting dropped for last night. I would say that he's a big miss when he's not in the team.
Theory, or conspiracy, or whatever you want to call it. Not thought in my head. Team comes in for Radvan, gives us our money back in January. Do you promote Robbie Fraser to be Jeff Day's deputy and streamline the first team that way instead of going out and buying another kind of left back when there's no need to?
Absolutely, I think so. I think that's something we also need to do more of.
I've never been in that situation, so I don't know how you would handle it. Fucking ragdoll them.
Honestly, I don't get, man. I know he's come out and said it himself, but you're the captain of 20 for ages, and 20 were raging.
All right. Still think there's that kind of error in him.
Honestly,
I know.
Do you know who we didn't actually? Jack Butland, we didn't say hit or miss for. We did talk about him a lot at the start, but
he's a hit, but it's a very slight hit for me. Last season, he's first name the team sheet and all that, but his form's fell off a cliff. His influences fell off a cliff.
I'd say he's more of a. I'd say probably he's edging miss this season. Because I feel like even though the defense hasn't been great, like it's still things that I feel like, how could you not have got to that or made a better job of that? And I don't think he's really far off Liam Kelly, like displacing him in the team.
You've been asked
to say... absolutely.
You honestly think Liam Kelly deserves a run of games over Jack Butland, though?
I think he's getting to that stage, aye. Don't get us wrong, Jack Butland's a big name, he's a kind of star player, he's come from, a former England international, played for big teams, big clubs. He's got that kind of air about him, that kind of captaincy air, he speaks well, he kind of carries himself well, presents well. He probably looked to as quite a kind of strong character in the first team, but I think based on performances, got somebody who's who's playing as a top goalie, albeit in the Scottish League, then I think you got to let nobody's beyond getting dropped if they're not performing.
That's it. I know, mate. That's it. Right, well, I think we'll wrap up there because I don't know how much breath I've got left, to be honest with you. I'm struggling here.